Good morning, people of the grid. Biker here. It is a beautiful day. I am headed off to the convention. I've got Amelia set up for 2 baseball games today. Samantha and Melissa are over with our friends Clint and Patricia, having a sleepover camp out. And Tammy and Ethan are in Anaheim. They're going to be, I think, going to Huntington Beach today and maybe to the park later tonight, I think. I'll find out later. They are getting some good traveling in. Hey, that brings you to the topic of travel. Just want to share with you guys kind of our thoughts around travel, what we aim to accomplish when we do travel, how we plan for it, and then what we do when we're traveling. So just wanted to share some of that with you guys today. Yeah, because I'll be stuck inside the convention for most of the day. So booking travel or thinking about travel, one of the things that we like to do is we always maximize the amount of time that we can spend anywhere we go. That's kind of our number one thing, is to figure out how can we go somewhere and stay there longer. See, because usually it involves airfare, so that getting there part is very, very expensive typically. And so how do we maximize the amount of time? And that means, working out which hotel we stay at. Sometimes we'll stay at a hotel that's a bit cheaper, and sometimes we'll use Disney Vacation Club points, which really helps us a lot. One of the places that we like to travel to, and we have been a fair bit over the last number of years, is Disneyland, where Tammy is right now with Ethan. Disneyland is awesome, but it's also very expensive for families. I'm not going to lie to you. It is pricey. Getting there is pricey if you have to fly in. Getting into the park, like buying those passes, is crazy expensive. And so what we do is we just like to maximize our time that we're there, spend as much time there as possible, and we get annual passes. So wherever you can, check it out. If there's an annual pass you can get, sometimes, and this is what we found with Disneyland, is the annual membership is actually cheaper than if we were to buy passes for 6 days or 5 days. Plus, we get more days in the park. So we look to do things like that. That's one of our things, is when we go to Hawaii or Disneyland, we always try and get the most time possible. That's pretty important to us. Hey guys, taking a break from the convention. I have to run an errand, and it just so happens to be over at Cross Iron Mills, which is, where the supercharger is. So I'm just going to rush out there, plug in real quick, get the errand done, and then get back to the convention. But while we're doing that, let's get back to this whole idea of travel. And, for us as a family, why do we travel? Why do we work our butts off so that we can save up enough time and money so that we can actually go and have some fun experiences and travel? And with travel, I'll lump in things like local travel. So that's going out to the mountains locally, or to a local lake, or going camping locally. And then more exciting travel, which would be going to Disneyland, or going to Hawaii, or going to the Gulf Islands off the coast of British Columbia. Regardless, travel is something that's important to us. And our why, the reason we go, is I truly believe that the more experiences we can have as individuals and for us together as a family, the more we grow, the more we get to know one another, the more we get to share with the amazing things that are out there. And I think you get a much greater understanding and respect for others and for the world around us. I'll give you a really good example. Tammy and I scuba dive. We loved scuba diving so much, we actually went right up to instructor. So we're PADI instructors. We haven't dove for a while, but we're going to start again soon, and we're going to get our kids into it. One of the things I realized is when we take people scuba diving, and not many people do it. I mean, percentage-wise, out of the entire human race, not many people do it. And it's a shame, because I believe if everybody saw what was under the oceans, we would think a lot harder about what we dump into our oceans. Honestly, if you saw the life down there, if you saw how connected it is to us and how beautiful it is down there, you'd have a much greater respect and desire to take care of it and to respect it. I know I do. So that's one of the things we want to give our kids. We want to give them experiences to show them what it's like for people in other parts of the world. Now, we haven't taken them everywhere, and we can't show them everything. And while there's extremes in the world of things to see, we can only do so much. But one of the things, and their teachers have confirmed this, when they write reports, when they write stories or share thoughts and ideas, they have a perspective that is different from kids that don't get to travel. So I think everyone should travel. Every kid should get out locally or further and experience the world. It's just so important, right? It's important that we connect with the world around us and the people that are out there too. So that's our why. That's kind of the why we travel and why we strive and work so hard to get there. That brings us to step 2. That's the planning. Now there's 2 types of planning. There's the planning of where we're going to go and which hotel and how we're going to get there and when is it going to be, what time of year. But then there's the more important part that we focus on, and we spend a lot of time thinking about this, which is planning what we're going to do when we get there. So Tammy and I break it down into 2 areas. We make 2 lists. One is a list of all the things that we could do when we get there. And then we have a second list, which is kind of an important list, where we say the things we really want to do when we get there. So it's nice to know all of the options. So if you're ever sitting there, like when we were in Hawaii and it rained, or we had a day where we just didn't know what to do and we're like, I don't know if we want to go to the pool, we can look at our list and we can say, hey, here's something that we really wanted to do, and we can go do it. Or if we've done all of those things, then we can pick from the list of things that are available, because we've already done the research and you're not caught, trying to figure out what thing are you going to do and then get stuck with something lame. We've already thought about that stuff. The planning part of where are we going and what hotel are we staying, that's kind of dictated by finances. So depending on how much budget we've allocated, we can very quickly figure out what type of hotel do we need to get, can we get a car or no, what types of activities can we do. And that's important, because you don't want the stress of when you get there not knowing and then spending too much or not bringing enough money with you, that type of stuff. That's all taken care of. Now, another really important part about planning that vacation is how much money are you going to spend when you're there? We talked to a lot of people, and some people will actually say, you know what, if I have to cook on my vacation, that's not a vacation. I don't want to go. The way we look at it is, if we can go on a vacation and have meals, breakfasts in the room, maybe pack a lunch, and then limit it to maybe 1 meal out a day, or maybe just limit it to 2 meals a day all round, if that makes our trips possible, we're in. We don't want to check out just because maybe we got to do a little bit of work. And we really saw that recently when we were in Hawaii. We went out for one family dinner, and the amount of that was pretty much like 1/3 of our entire food cost for 18 days. So it's a lot more cost effective for us to have breakfast in the room, buy stuff that we can make our own lunches with. And now the kids can prep lunches too. They could even cook. And then maybe we go out for dinner, but we kind of limit ourselves to either, 2 meals a day. If we do 3, 2 of them are going to be coming from food that we bought, like food in the room or food that we got from a grocery store. It's an easy way, it's a no-brainer way to save money. And then lastly on that topic, just look for deals, right? When we were when we were in Hawaii, they had the Infinity Cup, unlimited juice, unlimited pop. That's an easy, no-brainer way to save money. We didn't have to buy soda in the stores. We didn't have to buy juice at all. That was free. When you go to Disneyland, you can buy a coffee. If you buy it in a certain shop, you'll get unlimited refills for that day. So there's easy ways to save money. Disneyland, we have a 10% savings from our membership that allows us to save money on stuff that we buy for the kids and food. So look for those things. Don't overlook those, because you're burning your own money and you can use it elsewhere on a vacation. And you know what, guys? The last step really just comes down to execution. That's all it is. If you've done the planning, and this is true of any project, if you do the planning, which is about 80% of the work, the final part, the execution, the going on vacation, that's the 20%. It's going to be so easy and so much fun, because you've already done all the preparing and the planning, and also the contingency planning, so that if anything doesn't work out, you know what you're going to be doing. So then it just comes down to doing it and having a good time. That's what makes every vacation fun, stress-free, and you just go do it. So yeah, that's it. I'm heading back into my, as soon as I can, there we go. Heading back into the convention here. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Miker, out.